Max and Arminius video from Monday night. So I want all of these videos to be combined into one. So I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to click Open. And what it's doing right now is it's moving them from local files into the kind of the cache of the program. So it takes a couple seconds for it to load up. One thing I always look for, because sometimes, on larger videos it has cut out, is I want to make sure that the time over here, the 355, accurately reflects each of the lengths of these videos. So I know each one of them has been fully loaded into the program.
So why do you have them in separate? In other words, say you were to engage Max for the next 10 minutes. Why would you just have a continuous file of that?
Because when we record video, we try and save as much space on the memory card as we can. So me and Max, this 3.5 minutes of fighting was probably more like 10 minutes total time. But six of those minutes, I'm not going to learn anything from, so I don't need to have them. So that kind of comes into what I'm going to talk about next, is how do we best videotape it. So it is an extra step as far as what we want to do with recording and compiling video, but I think it's worth it. Particularly if I'm working on a specific technique, I will take that 10 seconds, that 30 seconds of video in that engagement, and I'll rename it to whatever I'm working on, and that 30 seconds will become the focus of what I'm looking at. Right? So, for instance, Duke Thorn at Crown, I fought him, and he did an amazing job of throwing blows while moving backwards, and I do not do a very good job of that. So I was taking that maybe 10, 15 seconds, which might have been 2 or 3 blows he threw within our fight, and I compiled those just into one clip, because that's all I wanted to learn. One of the common problems I have when I'm looking at video is I've got 3.5 minutes of fighting here. I've probably got 2 years worth of learning and training to do in those 3.5 minutes. So I try and focus on one aspect, okay? Because a part of what I do with the video is I use it as an aid to my training. I don't think somebody can sit at video and do, say, 5 hours a week of video study and be anywhere near as good as somebody that puts on armor for 5 hours a week, right? But if somebody that does 5 hours of video and 5 hours of armor, they're going to be in a really good spot. So I try and pick one thing I'm going to work on, or maybe 2 or 3 things, depending on how full my brain is, and then I'll take those specific things to practice to work on. So having shortened little clips really helps for that. Now, when I upload, like I said, when I upload things to YouTube, I try and upload one movie. I don't want to upload 1, 2, 3, 6 different files of me and Max, because I think as of now I've got about 220 videos on my YouTube site, and if I had broken all of those down into the individual clips, I'd be close to 2,000, and that's nightmare for somebody that's just casually visiting and wants to watch your engagements. Okay, so I'll get to kind of the point of what I do, and then I'll show you some of the extra features afterwards. So I've uploaded all of these files into the program, and now I want to compile them, and I do that by clicking on the Save Movie button here.
I have a secondary question to back you up.
Yep.
You made it all purple. Then you said, okay, now they're saved. I didn't see you do anything else other than highlight it purple. Did you right-click it? Did you left-click it? Did you...
Okay, so...
You downloaded the videos, and they're all individual clips right now.
Right. So I'm going to click on Save Movie here.
Okay.
And now it gives me a whole bunch of options, right? Do I want to do it for high definition display? So even though I didn't record it in 1080, it's going to automatically size the video for me into 1080. That's personally what I like to do. I find the trend with monitors is they're getting close to TVs now. So the higher the resolution I can do, the better. When you upload something to YouTube, YouTube's got a cool feature where it'll automatically scale the video for you. You've got an option. Do I want to see this in 640 by 480, 800 by 600, 1200 by 1080, or in HD. So YouTube's a good way of getting multiple resolution sizes. Personally, when I do this, and I'll show you, this is exactly what I do at home right now, I would click for high definition display, or I would click for computer. So let's do for computer, and this is going into my videos folder here. I'm going to go Next, Arminius, the date was, actually I don't need to really do the date, but I usually throw it in there anyways, was October 25. And then this save as file type, it's going to default to Windows Media Video File because that's Microsoft and they'll push their format as much as they can. So here we go, we click save, and right now what it's doing is it's taking all of these raw video formats, it's smushing it all into one file, and then it's also compressing that file. So each of these individual files is probably 30 to 40 megabytes each. When we're done this one file is probably going to be in about 30 to 40 megabytes each. Just because the different file format has different compression settings, and this compression setting is going to drastically reduce it. So this is the longest part of the process, is actually waiting for this video to compile. And it'll compile, and then I will show you the results. While it's compiling, I can't really show you any of the other features, but if we look up here, you can add, this is what you said, where you can add different videos and photos. So if you've taken some video editing software and you've broken down that clip and maybe had a mic overlay on it, which I consider probably a little bit advanced, and I would be happy to show you one-on-one, but doesn't really fit within the course. Or you want to insert different pictures and that kind of stuff, then that's the button you do that, yeah.
So the way this one works is it just plays them in order and you can rearrange it on the right screen there?
Yeah, absolutely. So these ones on the right-hand screen here, I could have moved those and dragged them and dropped them into any order
And
I
it just
want.
takes them in the order?
Exactly.
Okay.
But
So-
what's on the right is going to be all together now,
It is
right?
gonna be all
Even though
together
the
now.
first one looks like it's highlighted, but the rest aren't.
Yeah. So I'll, just a quick little brief about the way a video